Ahab and Naboth's Vineyard. In the book of 1 Kings chapter 21, we find the story of Naboth's vineyard. And also the story of King Ahab, who had many lands and much wealth. However, out of pure greed, he wanted Naboth's land to turn into a garden. But Naboth said to the king, "The Lord forbid that I should give you the inheritance of my ancestors." So King Ahab went back home, very sad and annoyed by Naboth's answer. The king of Israel, who had much land and wealth, had a temper tantrum because Naboth wouldn't sell him his inheritance. It was then that Ahab had Naboth killed and took possession of his vineyard. Colombia's history is not that different from this story in the Bible. In Colombia and in the Middle Magdalena region, there are many stories like it. In many cases, people with lots of money and power have arrived to steal the land from small farmers and their communities. The stories of the communities of El Garzal and Nueva Esperanza is one of these cases. A man called Manuel Enrique Barreto worked for the infamous drug dealer Pablo Escobar in the Middle Magdalena region. He controlled drug trafficking operations in the region and took possession of many lands using violence through intimidation and assassination. However, in August 1989, the Colombian army raided his farm, La Bonanza, located in what is now called the community of Nueva Esperanza. Mr. Barreto fled from the law and in the early 2000s returned to the Middle Magdalena region wearing a suit and tie, dressed like a king. He threatened the farming families of Nueva Esperanza and El Garzal, humble and hard-working families who had the simple dream of cultivating their land and one day giving it in inheritance to their children. Mr. Barreto also defamed the families in court, saying they were guerrilla fighters. Even with legal evidence of him being involved in drug dealing, Mr. Barreto accused the families of threatening him, saying they were the reason he was forced to leave in 1989. Just like King Ahab, Mr. Barreto, and now his children, even though they have a lot of land in other parts of the Middle Magdalena region, continue to try to take the land from the farming families. In the biblical story, King Ahab repents and God forgives him. However, in this case, the Barreto family has not repented of their actions, and the communities are still under threat of having their land taken. The Barreto family owns many lands in the region where they grow oil palm. However, what they have is not enough, and still they want to take the little bit that these families own. It is for this region, for its people, and for the importance of the work of farming communities in Colombia that we must continue demanding changes, denouncing injustice, and building together territories of peace and hope. If you liked our Teaching in Action video, subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media, and help us by sharing. And if you can, support us with a donation.